Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Film Thingy Podcast, the comedy podcast where we pop on our tailored suits, load our walls of PPK, defuse the bomb, kill the bad guy and get the girl.
That's John.
And he's Matt. Matt, we've got a blinder of a film today. What we're covering?
We've got A License to Kill. We've got motorbike chases, running on a train, and a crane.
Crane on a train.
Crane on a train.
Yep.
It's
Skyfall! Right, we've got a guest on today.
We do. Shall I do an introduction?
Yeah, go on. Tell us who he is.
I'll tell you who he is. That's a giveaway.
Yeah.
Still tough clue. I'm sure you've got him.
He was Whole Comedian of the Year 2022. He was BBC New Comedy Award semi-finalist 2023. He applied to Mastermind but didn't make the cut. It's Jack McLean. Welcome, Jack.
Hello.
Welcome. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for ending my bio with a failure. 2 failures. Semi-finalist, technically a failure.
That's pretty good going, though.
Yeah, that
Semi-finalist.
from where we're standing, that's pretty amazing, right?
Yeah.
Did you? It's quite a low bar, John.
Did you?
John can't even read the way the
read
wall.
fucking intro.
At the moment, John's reading not from a notepad, but from papers ripped off a notepad binder.
I don't know how the tier system works in the competition, but do you expect to get to semi-finalist?
No. So semi-final was the first televised event. So you have loads of off-TV, maybe not auditions, but you have to apply.
Heats or
Heats, yeah. So you have application, you have video you send in, and then you do a live gig as an audition. And then you got onto TV for the semi-finals, and I think it was 1,200 people applied, and TV was, I think, less than 30 people got on TV. So
pretty good.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm very proud of it. And as we mentioned, I went out the semi-finals. So,
so proud of it.
What did they judge it on? Is there like a laugh-o-meter?
No, so the judges, I don't know what. I guess it's the funniest person on the night, I guess, and then.
But is it a handful of people judge it? Or are they basing it on audience response? Because it's comedy subjective, right? So it's like
So we had 3 judges who were like so Amy Gledall was one from all. So 3 proper pro comics with the judges, but obviously if the room don't go for it, then that'll affect the performance. Yeah. So you can't untwine the two, but it is up to the judges. Yeah. Because if it was up to the room, obviously, I won't be sat here as semi-finalist. No, we might have to cut.
Won't be sat here at all. No, that is good though. Semi-final is great, and I suppose we were talking about that earlier before we started recording that you've only been doing comedy for a few years, so that from an outsider looking in, me seems quite a big jump from starting to being in that position as a semi-finalist is pretty cool. Yeah,
real cool. Really proud of it. Yeah, I try not to dwell on it because there's no other word than smug, isn't there? Which is not funny, but no, I'm really proud. Yeah, it's like to be on the BBC was just like I'm a bit of a comedy geek, far more as will become apparent than I am a film geek. But so yeah, BBC is like the home of. I know people say Channel 4, but I always think BBC for me.
You mentioned film podcast, but you're not really a film fan.
No, I don't know if I told you that before I turned up today. That I told you.
I didn't know you'd only watched about 5 films in your life. I thought it was a few more than 5, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I'm not a big film buff, no.
So, because obviously we approached you to come on. I won't say you asked us, but did that come into your thinking when you agreed to come on that you would need to have some film knowledge of any kind?
Look. Sometimes you've got to just jump.
No, I
have watched films. We were chatting earlier. I'm not Michael Owen. I'm not the far film when I'm out. I have
niche reference.
Yeah. But I've seen Seabiscuit. So I've watched films. I never think to watch a film. Do you know what though? Actually, now I think about it, I might be doing myself a disservice here because during the breakdown of my last relationship, cinema became quite a big thing, and I used to go every week, and then I started going on my own a bit, which I would have thought would be like mortifying, but it's actually really liberating. I loved it. Just going in the cinema.
Yeah, everyone. I've never been on my own.
I've been one time on my own.
Everyone told me it's great.
A nice experience. Yeah. It was just sort of switch up a bit and just You? What sort of films do you like? If you're not, you're obviously quite selective in your film choices, I guess. If you're not a huge fan, so what would you go for?
So I'm a big Bond fan. That is a big thing. That is probably the only.
Have you seen them all?
I believe so. I've got the box set home, which means nothing. But I believe so. I struggle with Moore. I know it's a bit controversial. Roger Moore is a bit smarmy for me. He's a
lot older.
Yeah, and he's a bit creepy, the jokes are a bit like.
It was that was when it got really cheesy. Yeah. Wasn't it? The Moore era. And I liked it when they brought Dalton in after that.
Underrated.
Really underrated.
Really underrated.
He was like the 90s version of the Daniel Craig style.
Yeah,
like,
he was really rugged.
Really rugged, and it was like basically just kill people for revenge rather than it being his job, you know. And I really like the Dalton.
Living Daylights is is probably up there with Skyfall, my favourite Bond film.
Yeah, it's great.
And you know the KGB agent, you got the violin or cello case that's also a machine gun. It's like, come on.
Well, what we wanted to do, we mentioned Mastermind. What was your can you tell us what you expect the subject would have been if it had been on?
James Bond theme songs.
So we've planned a slightly alternative quickfire round.
Okay.
For you, especially
for you.
Especially for you.
Okay. Well, here we go.
We're gonna do cue ripped Mastermind theme song.
Yeah, we'll splice the song theme tune here. I could never remember how it goes. We were talking about it.
We're gonna give you a series of Bond themed questions, especially written for you. Just to run through the format, we're gonna hit this in turn. So I'm gonna ask a question, John's gonna ask a question. In the style of Mastermind, you just need to give an answer. Obviously, want to ask the question, as is the way with most questions.
Thanks for explaining.
Really explaining it. I really live in the point. When I finish talking, there'll be an upward intonation on that's like a question, and then that's your cue to talk. Hopefully, answering the question.
That's called the Canadian thing.
The Canadian thing.
The Canadian thingy. The Canadian uplift or something is that where you end sentences and you think you're doing really well, but not question.
That's what they say.
Yeah, they always end on up. Even if it's
not a question.
Carly Simon told us that nobody does it better for the 1977 Roger Moore classic, The Spy Who Loved Me. But can you tell us what nobody does better?
I'm going to go Cunnilingus.
The fourth Bond film, Thunderball, featured a song by legendary crooner Tom Jones. But can you tell me what exactly is a Thunderball?
It is a lottery option.
In 1964, Shirley Bassey performed her first of 3 Bond-themed, Goldfinger. And 30 years later, Tina Turner had a huge hit with Goldeneye. But can you tell us which is better, a golden finger or a golden eye?
It has to be a finger.
Why is that?
Well, the only problem with a gold finger...
The only problem?
Is because he's the man with the Midas touch. And Midas is quite a tragic character, isn't he? Whereas a golden eye is... is it corrosive gold? Do you know what?
No.
Is it not corrosive? Is it not like arsenic?
No, gold is like famously used for like jewellery and stuff. So absolutely not corrosive whatsoever.
Probably one of the redeeming qualities of it. Yeah.
Golden eyes.
We're not suggesting that you put a gold eye in your head and it corrodes your brain out. Shirley Bassey's second Bond theme, and an all-time classic, Diamonds Are Forever, was released in 1971 to accompany the film with the same name. But are diamonds really forever?
Unlike men, the diamonds linger, as she says.
Nice, that's way too cultured.
Yeah, very. Yeah,
from my experience, and from my experience, men do perish.
White Stripes frontman and R&B superstar Alicia Keys collaborated for the 2008 film Quantum of Solace. But can you name another way to die?
I think that Quantum of Solace generally is quite a good allegory for another way to die.
On the topic of dying, as I've written it, 2002 saw the release of Die Another Day, for which Madonna provided the theme song. But if you had to die another day, what day would you choose?
Tuesday.
Any reason?
I just want this quiz over.
So, why Skyfall?
Well, I think Skyfall is the people's Bond film. I think if proper Bond fans don't like to say, like when people are Tina Turner fans and say, what's your favourite Tina Turner song? Nobody says Simply the Best because it's a bit too obvious. You know what I mean? And I think Bond fans think that about Skyfall, but actually, I think the people of it. I mean, ITV2 loves it, but
it's always on.
Yeah,
definitely.
But you asked me, John. I'm going to call you out on recording here.
Right.
You asked me a few weeks ago. You said to me, "I'm really surprised you chose Skyfall."
Yeah,
I'm really surprised you chose Bond.
Yeah.
And what you meant by that, John, I believe, is I thought you'd pick a gay film, not a Bond film. But what I would say, of all the Bond films, it is the only one with a strong female lead. So it is quite gay already, to be fair. What do you think I was going to pick? Like, Brokeback Mountain.
Because actually, and I don't mind saying this, most Bond films in some way can be quite camp, particularly depending on the Bond.
The villains, I mean, it's quite interesting if we actually want to get a PhD out of this. I think it's really interesting how camp the Bond villains are and why camp is seen as evil. And I think it's because Bond is such a masculine. I mean, that scene in Skyfall, I mean, I don't know if you can answer a question on it, but with Silver having a bad end, where he starts putting his hand on his leg. He goes, first time for everything. And then Bond says, how do you know this is my first time? And Javier Bardem goes, oh, Mr. Bond. That is just ace.
As well, I think I don't disagree with what you're saying, but I think there's a lot of villains, not necessarily just Bond villains, but there's that element of like theatricality, I guess, where they're meant to be a bit larger than life.
But they're subversive as well. Yeah. But
he's a great villain, though.
He's a great,
fantastic villain. Even like before you actually see him, like, and you just know he's in the background. It felt very like classic Bond. I felt like Blofeld, like you say, where you don't really know who it is that's pulling the strings, but you just know there's this big threat. Yeah, it's good.
I think he's one of the better ones.
Agreed. And I think similar. They kind of did this a bit with Mads Mikkelsen in Casino Royale with the weeping eye. They kind of gave the Bond villains that little gimmick back. With Silver, it's the teeth that come that way, sort of cyanide.
You say gimmick, John. I say disability.
Right, let's do the quick fire questions.
Sure.
We've only got a handful because we've already been to the master. But John, you can have the first one. If that's right. I'll set it off easy. Plot in 10 words.
Plot in 10 words.
It should never be as hard as this. It
Bond.
baffles me every time.
Bond. Get shot.
Bond. It's fact that you've put Bond in it as well. Like
you've
got 10 words and you've used one of them as Bond.
At least he's dropped James.
007. Bond gets shot. Okay. Goes missing.
I mean, that's half your words in the first 10 minutes.
Every time he does it, he front loads it.
Bond gets shot, goes missing, comes back, wins the day. Every Bond film, actually. All done. Go on.
Plot in 10 words, please.
Okay.
Not as easy as it looks, isn't it?
M gets... Yeah, because I'm not a misogynist, right? We're not just wiping out the main story lead of this whole thing for Buster Bond, right? Okay, so M gets revisited by former alliance turned a bit mean.
Don't really capture it.
If we put hours together and then add a bit more in, we might get it.
Yeah, if we want to up it to like a 50 words.
It was definitely more interesting than mine, to be fair.
I mean, a bit mean. A bit of an apologist.
We might be covering old ground here, but review it in 10 words.
Fucking ace. Great, exciting dialogue. Best Bond theme, bar Batty.
That's probably one of the best reviews we've had of any film, actually, on this.
Definitely couldn't come back. I'll just replace John. I don't know. Favourite character?
Oh, I think there's a lot in this. That's sort of my point. I think it's so much better than you could do without. It's like Cameron and Stacey. Get rid of Cameron and Stacey. Just keep the rest. Like you could do without.
It's not about them, really.
No, I think.
I'd love to see a cut where there's no...
They're just all going for Chinese and stuff, and just everyone... If Governor Stacey's mum and dad are there still, but no Governor Stacey. Bond. No, right? I would argue that would see the Governor Stacey one.
when does M go for Chinese?
His mum as well. He goes to Billericay for Chinese.
Alison Steadman is yeah.
Did you answer the question?
No. Favourite Bond character? I think. Oh, this is a right cop out. I think having a bad M is brilliant. I think brilliant. I think I'm glad M finally gets a real big part in the thing. She's just in and out. Yeah. And Kincaid as well makes me laugh. The do you know the bit where she goes?
Oh, that's Rory.
Yeah. No, not Rory Kincaid. That's. Oh. No, he's the groundsman.
Kincaid's the groundsman, sorry. Yeah. Oh, he is good.
And when Bond says, "Oh, this is M," and he goes, "Emma!" It's a great gag. So,
we have some requests, some special requests now.
Oh, please.
We have been informed, maybe erroneously, that you can do one or two impressions, or at least speeches.
Well, I've already given you my Javier Bardem. Oh, Mr. Bond.
I'm particularly interested to hear his opening monologue about the rat. Do you know the rat? The rats.
Yeah. When there are only 2 rats left. Do you know, not the worst. Oh, Mr. Bond, I love it. I like it when he ties it onto a chair and he goes, she's been lying to you. And he goes, he won't lie to me. And then he says all the stuff that she lied to me about. And oh, Mummy's been very bad. Oh, it's great. But the fail with alcohol addiction. Oh, it turns into Augustus Gloop at one point. Oh.
He's really hamming it up, but that's what you want from a Bond villain.
You want it to be ridiculous.
Yeah, larger than life.
But then he switches. It's so psychotic. That bit when he's leaving the tribunal and he's walking out annoyed, so he shoots a random...
One of his men, it's like a henchman.
He just shoots him.
Yeah, he does switch. It's when he's not in control, isn't it? He switches, really.
And I love that bit, where they've got the lass in front of the woman in front of, she's got a whiskey on her.
You've got the revolvers.
And you've got to you've got to get the whiskey to drop off her. You've got to shoot the whiskey off her head. So Bond tries to hit it and he just shoots her in the stomach so it drops off and kills her. That is...
It's cold, isn't it?
I know, but it's so, maybe it was obvious, I never saw it coming, and I'm thinking that is so... And then that is all... Because I do think Skyfall has got some banging one-liners in it.
There is some really good...
When he shoots her in the belly, the stomach goes, "Oh, what do you think of that?" And he goes, "It's a waste of good scotch." And they go, "Come on!" I love it.
Is it not also a Judi Dench?
Yeah, dim to you. But yes,
yes.
There is my favourite scene of any film ever is in Skyfall, and it's the bit where she's sat at the tribunal. We're getting the MP having a go at her, and Bond is running to get to her, and the music building, it's amazing. He's been chasing Silver across the underground, and then she starts reading poetry. I love that, and it has become, because I know what you're getting at, it has become, in my house, me and Brad, my partner, we it often gets quoted. So this year, this Christmas card was a picture of a bodybuilder with Judi Dench's head. And it said Judi Dench, right, of course. I love that. And this bit where she says, she goes, "My late husband was a great lover of poetry, and some of it sunk in despite my best intentions." But the bit at the end, she goes, "Shall not yield," and then she goes, "That which we are, we are." And I love it. And that's when she does it and it builds up. Not enough poetry in Bond. There's my quote.
That's fair.
And then it goes and it builds up and it comes in.
That was on a t-shirt.
So that, I love that. And then obviously it ends in a crescendo. And then they even have, which you don't get enough in films, the slow down, slow motion, and then the noise of... Do you know when you're underwater and you can hear the noise of outside?
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
It is a good... I really like that kind of whole sequence where the two things go on alongside each other. Really exciting because it's you've got all the stuff going on the underground, but this courtroom's quite calm, but you know that it's building to something, but you don't really know what at that point until trains start fucking going everywhere, and it's great, really, really exciting.
And I'll just on a serious film note, the music's mad. The whole thing about Bond, obviously it's a big band, it's orchestra, but just throughout the whole film, in the last one, we won't talk about the films, but in Skyfall they do it as well, where they have like the strings come in, and it's of this theme song that just like subtly drops in. I just think it's the music's just so good.
So it's obviously a favourite of yours, but you have a small issue perhaps with it, a thingy.
I do have a small issue with it, and it is travel based.
Travel based, okay.
Travel based.
Well, okay. Before you reveal all to us for the first time and the listener, we will have to caveat, pre-warn everybody. We are not confident Jack understands the premise.
So,
do you want to just give some context to that? Actually,
I have struggled to understand this podcast. Now. And what I will say is everybody else who has listened or I have asked to listen to help me understand it, explain it to me, has understood it. So this is a me thing. But I did get a message from John saying, no, I've never been so... Nobody's ever made me so nervous to record a podcast. So I think I've got it now.
You really need to have at this point. We are seconds from you revealing your thing.
I think I've got it now.
Well, the floor's yours.
Okay. So, do you know the bit after the tribunal where Bond whisks M away in a car? Mm-hmm. Whisks away.
In the Aston Martin?
In the Jaguar. In her car.
Sorry.
She gets in her car and he whisks away. Now, we'll ignore the fact it's a terror alert, there's police everywhere, there's roads cordoned off, but yeah, he doesn't have to stop the car to get out of the scene. We'll ignore that.
Yeah.
Right. He goes, now, there's a scene where Q is stood there helping Bond track getting up to Scotland.
Yeah.
Okay. And Mallory walks in on them and sees that they're doing this and tell them to take the A9. It's the quickest and most direct route. I've checked Google Maps. It adds on an hour and a half. And not only does it add on an hour and a half, it takes up a motorway rather than via Loch Lomond, so you get worse scenery. Where's views?
I'm sure
it's not a scenic route then. That's what.
Yeah, it goes anti-scenic route and adds on an hour and a half.
Okay.
Now, bear in mind, it's already a 10-hour drive from Westminster. I mean, earlier on in the film, it says to Q says, "Welcome to London in rush hour." So we're adding on a few hours, but we'll go just as the crow flies, 10 hours with a 70-odd-year-old woman in the car. Right? They're going to need to stop for services at Woolly Edge, I'd recommend. So they're having to go 10 hours and they're adding an hour and a half on. And I want to know, my thing is, why would Mallory suggest that when that is so clearly wrong? It's
a bloody good thing.
It is a good thing, and you've actually got some good information to back it up as well, which...
Well, I've been floundering for months on this podcast. So it's been a lot.
You should have a thing about now, to be fair to you. Yeah.
Instinctively, Mallory either doesn't know what he's talking about or intentionally gives wrong information.
Well, they're the two options, aren't they?
Is it the only two?
If he doesn't know what he's talking about, he doesn't need to know which roads,
We don't offer the information.
Exactly. So why is he playing Billy Big Bollocks?
Just because you've been shot in the arm.
It's a proper blokey thing to do that, though, when they talk about which route you should take. It's like when the builders come round and suddenly your voice drops.
I wouldn't do it like that.
I could have done that bang on the right sources.
Oh, you're going for a dovetail joint. Page to the road.
Yeah, I'm doing your circuit board.
Would you say he's a dad?
Mallory.
Yeah, do you think he has kids?
Yeah, I reckon he's got twin girls.
Twin girls, yeah, I agree. Susanna and... Emily. So, that's quite a dad thing, and it's a no road names.
Yeah, it's one of those where, I don't know if he does it in the film, but I imagine he would sniff before he... Yeah.
One up.
Yeah. And when he sees the DB5, I reckon he goes, she looks a good runner.
Kicks the tyres.
Yeah. What do you get out of her?
That's the boot, Mallory. Yeah, someone needs a bit of engine, don't they? used to rule that way back in the 50s.
What do these go for nowadays? So
is that
So this could be a relatively straightforward one. So he's a desk. His job isn't dangerous, is it?
But he was in Northern Ireland doing the IRA.
He was.
troubles.
Yes. He was.
Right. Okay.
Obviously, I don't want to just cut this short and end it there on that information because I think it's absolutely bang on. But is it possible that he's just bullshitted his way right the way from start to finish in his career?
What's his position? He's director of security services or something. He obviously works with the PM. He mentioned the Prime Minister. Didn't talk about the PM.
He's fucking never met her, has he? Or him.
Oh, you've changed.
Clean up my act.
I love that when he goes, oh, the PM can prattle on me. Yeah. I love that because he's smarmy, isn't he?
He is. Fans does an amazing job.
Brilliant.
He always does.
He's great at everything, isn't he, to be fair?
But from his first scene, he's just a great character.
Yeah, brilliant. And the arch he goes on, the journey you go on with him.
Yeah, because
you don't want to like him, do you?
No, and he forces you to like him by the end of it.
Yeah.
But maybe he does that by just pandering to our sort of, I know which roads to take. I like, what's the mileage on that? Just using words.
Do you know that?
You get out of there.
Do you know that the council? The council are putting in another bus lane. Don't have a clue what they're doing.
The thing is that what they say, don't they? To be a person with people, you have to be able to adjust your own sort of behaviour and mannerisms and stuff to match
meet the
those
person
that you're talking to, and that's how you can get along with a lot of different people. So maybe just a comedian a bit, master of that.
Yeah, but to Q, of all people.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think it's a dominance thing. I think it's a masculinity thing.
It's just trying to like my dick's bigger than yours.
Yeah.
I'm just going to chuck this under the.
He has like no knowledge at all. He puts a letter and a number together in his head. He vaguely knows that means that's a road of some sort. So is it in?
But
first time, just he goes. He goes.
See, Mark was in
It's actually dubbed because he originally said the A4, now he goes the A9.
If you watch it closely, his mouth doesn't match what he's saying.
But he says,
sorry, is it right?
He says the direct route.
Why does he know it's the direct route?
We're falling into a dangerous territory that John often gets, a quagmire that John often gets trapped in.
Yeah.
Which is Ray Fiennes offering this information? or is it Mallory?
It's
character or actor?
If we can delve into your other option here.
It's on purpose.
That he purposely sent him off track.
So he wants what does he want? So roll it back a little bit.
Yeah.
The plan is for Bond to get M to his childhood home.
Yeah.
To hide her.
Well, to entice them in.
So because Q leaves a trail for them a digital trail.
Yeah, even that's what I feel. Even the baddies have to go via the fucking A9.
Stella got to
maybe that's
really low. Like just following it all the way around.
He's like, there's definitely a quicker route.
But M said
that bloody Tom, I can't believe it. Always sends us wrong way.
They got there 45 minutes before Bond
just look back round.
They're definitely
not to derail this bit, but I have an issue with them even going to Skyfall, because if they're luring the baddies in, knowing full well that obviously Silver's a very tactical villain. He's got a lot of plans that he's had for years, etc. He's got a lot of people and resources at his disposal.
Can't shut a door behind him though, can he, when he's getting chased?
No, can't.
Wonder where he's gone. Maybe it's that door that's ajar.
Yeah, no fucking manners, has he?
Yeah. We'll leave that. But this has been years in the making. He's getting chased. Shut the door behind you if you're getting chased. No. Anyway, go on.
Why take him to a remote location to lure him in when you have no knowledge of what's going to be there to help you. They're like one gun between them, right?
Yeah, but that is, he thinks there's more guns because they've sold the property, don't they? Because
they've sold it all, the cabinet. Yeah, that makes no.
And also, I think the idea is to get him somewhere where it's completely alien from the technology.
Yeah, it's
and it's neutral ground, right? Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, okay.
That's why. I don't know if it's why or if it's like a nod to why he gets the DB5 out of storage, because it's an old-fashioned car that isn't digitised and electronic and all that. So that loosely it makes sense. That
gives them a little threaten with the
ejector
seat, don't they?
Go on, eject me. See if I care.
so dramatic.
But the whole film is a clashing between old school and new, innit? The fact that Silver,
it's like bringing it into the new style, isn't it?
Yeah, and when she says about, our enemies don't have flags, they're not countries, they're in the shadows. So it's all about and she's obviously old school, and it's the clashing between, well, no, she isn't really, but the clashing between it all, that's the whole
well, he is as
dynamic.
Well. Bond's old. He's literally, they bring in, they kind of, it's never fully said, but they allude to the fact that they bring in an analog agent into a digital warfare, into a digital environment. Like, that's why it's kind of, they don't really say it, which is I trust him and all that, and she obviously passes him through all the tests that he failed and all that. But they bring him
Mommy's
in.
been very bad.
They bring him in because he is old school. Yeah. And he's not, doesn't, and then they obviously has a radio, doesn't they? Which is
that's a great gag as well, isn't it? Yeah.
But it gets repeated as well, because Silver says it as well, and he goes, the latest gadget. It's getting worse. It started quite well, didn't it?
It's like one of the little pigs from Shrek.
Yeah.
He puffed.
And he blew Skyfall down. So,
but yeah,
so I've no issue with him going to Skyfall.
Okay,
I do agree. It's a push.
But don't go via the A9.
But, so still on that one, aren't we?
He's going there to lure him into a space that he feels like he's got more control over.
Yeah.
Fair play. And he doesn't know how to get straight there, apparently, either. He has to rely on Q to give him directions.
Yeah.
Who is relying on Mallory to give him directions.
Well, he wasn't. Mallory offered
advice. And Q being the intelligent person that he goes, all right, I'll ignore this and listen to Mallory, who's just decided to pop in.
Does he definitely change course when he suggests it?
Yeah, there is a map that you can see in the background that he does start coursing it. He does go by. I've checked it is the A9.
So Mallory's just got everyone under his spell, hasn't he?
Why?
Do you think he's got some shares in Loch Ness? And he's anti-Loch Lomond at getting because it's Britain's biggest lake.
Yeah.
By surface area, not depth.
You have to change your mastermind, especially
Britain's biggest lake.
Right.
Not depth.
No.
By
surface area.
Surface area, not volume.
Not depth.
Not volume is the correct word, actually. Yeah. No. But the thing with going via the A9, right, and this comes onto a slight, now I know I'm not allowed a second thingy, but it does tie us. It does tie us. The baddies have followed them up. Obviously, right? And I know there's a helicopter, but a lot of them come by cars. So they follow them up the A9 an extra way. Now there's two things that I can't get my head around, which we need to try and tie in.
Considering you had no thingies for months, you've fucking come pretty well equipped today.
I've got cock. They drive all the way to Scotland, 10.5 hour drive.
Yeah.
They park outside of Skyfall and then walk down. Odd.
Carrying all their weapons as well.
Yeah, what else have they got? How does Bond know that they've turned up? Can you remember this?
No, because he knows when Silver's there, because he's got the helicopter with all the music on, so that's obvious.
He knows the henchmen have turned up because dogs start barking. They've got dogs, and you never see the dogs again. Dogs bark.
We'll bring these to let him know we're here.
Yeah. So they brought dogs in a 10-hour journey.
10.5 hour journey back.
I hope they kept the window open a little bit.
They've had to get out a little bit, haven't they?
They've probably stopped off a few Burger King, some cheese bites.
They'll have had to have stopped numerous occasions.
Is there a...
And where have they gone? They tied up outside a bollard, outside Co-op. Where have the dogs gone? And why would you take dogs?
The thing is, you can't have Bond killing dogs, can you? From a filmmaker's perspective, the dogs are they have tension. Obviously, it's a reason for him to let them know that they're there. But if Bond started killing dogs, people would be up in arms. So,
but where do the dogs go, Matt? I need to know.
So what are the dogs doing for the henchmen? Are they just there as an intimidation tactic? Like, why would they have dogs?
The RXL bullies. I have checked this. Not XL bullies.
You didn't have to say it. I was really confident you knew what you were on about.
Rishi Sunak, so we're not having that. He was the one who cut them from the film, actually, so no XL bullies.
This film's really ahead of its time. Prophetic almost. Is there anything on the A9 that is of any reason for being on the A9 that makes it a better? I know you said it's not a scenic route, fair play, but is there anything on the A9, a tourist attraction, a particularly brilliant service station that Mallory's thinking they'll definitely want to go there?
So just so I'm clear, when we're saying that it adds on an hour and a half to the original journey, but we're also saying that the henchmen, if for want of a better word, with the dogs, go the same route, and they're going to need to stop a couple of times at least because of the dogs and probably in a Greggs or whatever. And they both get there, not the same time, but within close distance to each other, presumably.
They both happen to stop to let people out to go to the toilet, the dogs and Em, aren't they? They both happen to let...
Bond. Em is not an Alsatian. But can you imagine...
Em's older, isn't she?
Yeah, she's 70. So
10 hours. Bond will still have to go a couple of times.
Oh, yeah.
It's probably hold it a bit longer.
Especially all the alcohol.
All the punches there as well to it.
Yeah,
he'll be shot.
Well,
between the two of them, they probably have to go every 30 minutes.
What if then...
Soiling the seats.
Like you said, just piss everywhere on them leather seats. But they don't realise because they're heated, so they think it's just the heated seats and they've both pissed everywhere.
Looking across. And they each know
just hear it
trickling.
He thinks it's there and it's himself.
Are you sure you don't want to stop for the toilet? I'm actually fine. That big gulp that you've had, you finish. It's got one on somewhere, honestly, I'm fine.
Honestly, these heated seats are good.
I'll get my head down for a minute if you don't.
What's the road again? What's the road again?
Right, can we? That is the best question. What the hell? Bond, as we've already said, is a vacuous man. He is not. You won't want to go for a pint with Bond.
No, he's a right fucking Debbie Downer, isn't he?
What is he talking about for 10 hours?
You can't just keep making puns, can he? Is that they can't just keep punning to each other for 10 hours. I reckon she just fell asleep for most of it, and he was quite happy just sitting in silence, angry for 10 hours.
He's definitely a man that could just sit quietly in an empty room and just stare at a wall. And there's no about him. He'd quite happily just sit quietly and do nothing.
And do you reckon he goes, "No, I spy." proper joke there. Not even pre-written.
Does it looking in the mirror that himself? He loves it, doesn't he? Proper fancies himself.
He's got his rearview mirror pointed at himself, so he can only see himself.
Both wing mirrors,
and he can't see because he can only see himself. He can't see the convoy of back and all these Alsatians
running alongside the car.
They stop at the same service station.
In the urinal,
they're both in the same cracks.
What I was gonna say was, I think you were along the same lines on this motorway. What was the name of it?
The A9.
The A9.
Not a motorway, of course.
Oh, sorry, yeah,
an A road.
It is a. On this A road.
It's the fact that we need to keep straight.
And just to answer your question, what is on the A road? Fife.
Okay.
That's where I was going. Is what's on that road? But is there something there somehow? Time doesn't come into it. Mallory knows this.
Time stand still in Fife?
It changes. It's in Fife. You go through Fife.
You go back in time.
You go back. No,
I've not been. Do you?
I've never been to Fife.
I've not been to Fife, but I've heard the lovely.
Don't want to
shout out for Fife. But maybe Mallory has some inside information. Maybe he's not a Billy bullshitter.
But Bond is Scottish, isn't he?
Yeah.
Which is why, obviously, it's interesting when he says nationality. He says England. It's an interesting bit on it, and earlier on in the film. But he's Scottish, so you think I know he's an orphan, but you think he'd know. I mean, he knows his way around the tops of the Grand Bazaar, doesn't he? But he doesn't know his way back to the home. I know he's following
bike as well, yeah.
I think he's going with the Grand Bazaar.
There's something going on with the A road.
But Mallory knows about it.
Mallory knows about it. It's not a bully bullshitter. Is there?
It could be a toll road. He might have stocks in the high Scotland highways.
Any opportunity takes, even if it's the most senior member of MI6 in mortal danger, Any opportunity he can to just get an extra £1.50 for the toll road.
Matt, look after the pennies, the pounds will look after themselves.
That is his motto.
That is what he says in the film.
He says it straight away. He says to Hugh, he goes, Tom 39, and then he turns away and he goes, look after the pennies. He goes, what? As you were. At ease. He sort of wanders around the room, but like he's well lost with himself.
For some reason, I found it hilarious thinking about him saying that while he's in his sling as well. Just whispering it to people all around the life.
And then he's handing out brochures about getting into buying shares in toll bridges and.
Weekend in Fife, anyone?
So the
benefits of using more expensive petrol don't always go for the cheapest option. Actually, get AdBlue.
In universe, there is a toll road, a section of road that's he owns.
I think he has some sort of
stake in it.
Yeah, because you can't have conflict of interest, but there might be some form of like. Ranulph Fiennes.
So he's got shares in the toll road.
Ranulph
Fiennes is his second cousin. Yeah. See, we're going into that issue again.
This is the problem I've got with John every time, and yet I can't lose you as well. It's Mallory.
It's not Ralph Fiennes. Or
if it turns out it's Ralph Fiennes, Ray Fiennes around there. That is,
do you know what though?
It
seems like a really Ray Fiennes thing to do.
And maybe, that wasn't in the script, but he's using a massive blockbuster film as the opportunity to promote the A9 worldwide.
Makes sense, to be fair.
Right, so he's not going to get anything, and he's not going to get any extra pennies from Bond and M because obviously they're fictional characters that will actually drive through his toll.
So he's got to make the crew physically take the story through the toll.
And can I give some inside information here? It was actually filmed on location. Therefore, all of the actors, the makeup department, the caterers,
they would all have to go through.
So he's thought, I'm on for 2 here, so I'm going to get probably about 50 quid's worth of royalties from the crew all going through, £1.50 a piece, and they're going to have to come back. So
not all of them. Some do. Like, as we say, men do perish.
We'll bring all the vehicles back at least, but some of the men may die.
So he's thinking, I'll definitely have that. So I can start thinking about what we take away tonight, I reckon. And I'm promoting it on a film that took over 1 billion at the box office. So a big film.
Some people will go see it 3 times.
Some people will go see it 3 times. All I can pray is that everybody hear me say the A9.
Yeah.
Don't completely miss
it. And when he says it to Ben Whishaw, he's thinking he's going script and going, yeah, he's just going at improv class. Yeah. And so he goes along with it.
I can't change anything on it because I'm an actor.
But then they ran out of
controlling this.
But then they ran out of funding, so they didn't have time to reshoot the scenes. So it just
we shouldn't forget. This is very important. Daniel Craig's Bond is synonymous with branding. He is the first Bond, the Heineken, the BMW, starts driving the BMW, didn't he?
Yeah.
Heineken bottles, Omega watch, and it shows it off.
Yeah,
so maybe this is just another branch of that. It's A9 getting there.
Ralph Fiennes wanted a piece of the pie, didn't he? He's got nice watches.
Highways Scotland said to him.
So Highways Scotland have approached Ray Fiennes prior to the filming of Skyfall, knowing that he'll be in the film, and they said, we're going to pay you a handsome sum, providing that you literally put us on the map.
Fine work.
And Rafe goes, I'll do what I can. And he waits for his opportunity throughout the filming of the film and he get A9. So it's not bullshit. He really does know that he's memorised all the road.
Yeah.
He knows the A9.
He's fully aware it'll take longer.
He knows it'll take longer, but that wasn't there because nobody would look into that, would they?
There is actually there are actually other clips in the film where you can hear him whispering. Have you thought about the A9? But it didn't make. He's machine gunning it. It wasn't a one hit. He's dropping it in left, right, and centre.
He's talking to like apprentices and stuff. He's going, yeah, you thought about the A9? I'm like, sorry, I'm literally just got to do the photocopying.
No, that's what I thought.
Shut it down. That's it. That'll do. End it there. So I'm happy.
It's sealed, done.
I will just bring up the dogs and the henchmen and the fact that they go missing. So the dogs make it all the way. Presumably they go from wherever the henchmen were. Were they all in London at the time, or have they come from cells across the country?
Not sure.
From Pocklington to London.
Yeah, they might have contracted a few from the East Ride.
Yeah, they're splinter cell in East
It's Turkey in the film. It's Turkey, Macau, London, Scotland, Glenateve in Scotland, and Pocklington.
Classic Pock.
So they converge. Obviously, some take the A9, some meet them there, and they brought dogs on. I mean, the dogs on the journey. They're getting out, they're getting fed, they're getting water, just like them in Bond.
It's a bit inconvenient though.
Yeah, but I mean, you do what you do, don't you? A job's a job, right?
Do you think they'll leave this shit, or do you think they'll pick it up?
No, they'll leave it, won't they? They don't care.
I think they're professionals, aren't they?
Well, they'll mop it up.
Yeah.
Not literally mop it up, but you know what I mean.
Proper special forces have to bag it, don't they? Bag their shit.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, they are quite well. Drilled out.
You bag your shit and take it with you so that an enemy can't find it.
Yeah, and eat it.
And the most important lesson you'll learn in special forces school:
don't eat other people's shit,
and absolutely do not let them eat your shit.
Don't let them eat your shit.
Is that why the dogs are there? To eat
so they can eat the shit.
Yeah.
Then that makes perfect sense.
So did they just tied up at the gate, or did they just let them run loose?
I think they just got away from them and they all just wandered off into like the...
Why did they park at the gate and then walk down?
That doesn't make sense.
Is that like
presumably that's so they don't
have dogs.
How many dogs is there?
At least a choir, I'd say.
Is it coincidence? Is it
they
just
just
a dog walker?
they're not actually henchmen at all.
Is
just a group of dog walkers.
You never see the dogs. You hear them.
So it could be a couple of ramblers with their dogs.
Could be a couple. They sound quite aggressive dogs for a rambler.
We definitely don't see the dogs.
No.
We only hear
Could any of the mercenaries be doing the dog noise?
That would explain
bears.
That would explain why they disappear.
Because they're not really there in the
But why would they alert unless it's an intimidation tactic like the hacker?
Yeah, he's going. Yeah,
and then why do
it only takes one. Sorry.
So if it's not real dogs, then why do they still eat the human shit off the floor?
Well, maybe they're just one or two bad apples. So there's one or two. Maybe only one. It only takes one, doesn't it? You could do more than one dog noise, I suppose. One person.
Could you do that?
Well, should we have a go?
We can all do like you could do like right?
Sorry.
Or you could do.
You were gonna do a wolf then, right? Yeah. You're gonna howl.
Something like a bear.
Dog noise?
That sound like a little terrier.
Yeah, they don't think they've got terriers.
You won't pick a terrier.
No, but that's not right. We said you want to do different dog. That's it. Yeah. So the dogs weren't really dogs then.
There's no dog. It's just a bloke who is. I think, like you say, one of them says,
"Is a henchman? I'm going
to intimidate him."
But is it John Culshaw, the impressionist John Culshaw?
So, but yeah, he's not really one of the henchmen. They've just picked him up en route and gone. We need someone who can do impression. Alistair McGowan wasn't available, so so y'all come in with us. What do you want to do? Just all dog noises, nothing else. No, that I can do. No,
Tony Blair. No, Tony Blair's gone years ago, John.
I can do Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Is he alive still? It's not real, John. It's not real, John. Just do a dog like we've asked you.
Be more relevant.
Yeah.
We can do Les Dawson. Yeah, we can order Les Dawson, John.
Dogs are timeless, John. They never got
no one wants to kill a dog either, do they?
So the henchman says, if I pretend we've got a lot of dogs with us, Bond won't want to kill us and the dogs, because then everyone will kick off. So it's the actor that plays one of the henchmen thinks, I don't want to die in this film as a henchman.
Yeah.
I want to get a bit more screen time.
Okay,
so if I do a dog noise, Daniel Craig's Bond won't want to shoot and kill me. Because he might also hit a dog.
So he'll go off script and just leave kind of...
So yeah, he'll just like, dogs around me. If he thinks that I've got a dog. So I'm going to make a dog noise.
Okay. So we've got Ray Fiennes going off script, sending people down the A9 for his own orders. And then we've got one of the henchmen who wants a bit more screen time.
May or may not be
impersonating a dog. Yeah. May or may not be John Culshaw. Or Alistair McGowan.
But maybe it's not to get more screen time. Maybe it is the character does want to just survive, like you said. Maybe it's not.
So it's not character. It is character, not actor. Yeah. I can buy that. So we've got two things. We've got that's just in the script.
Yeah.
This, you're playing henchman for pretend to be a dog. That's your
henchman paw. Sorry, it's not good enough.
Paw is the right word.
Well, I'm happy with that.
Do you want to say it's watertight?
I can't fault it.
I think it's time for the 30-second summary.
Yeah.
Guess to go first.
Yeah,
go first, John.
Okay. Mallory misguides Bond
because the actor Ralph Fiennes has been goaded into promoting the A9
by Scottish Highway, who want to earn a bob or two,
as well as his fellow public schoolboy peers who have bullied him into this truth or dare. We did say that, I've not just made that up.
That's fine, we'll run with
it. Separately, one of the henchmen barks like a dog in an attempt to not be shot.
It may or may not be John Coleshaw or Alistair McGowan. Is that it?
I think that's everything. So it's really straightforward. An actual 30-second summary rather than 2 or 3 minutes like it is sometimes.
Okay. Speechless.
I am a little bit actually because I had such apprehension before you came in after John had said mere moments before we started to record. I'm pretty sure Jack doesn't understand. I was like, that was one of the best things.
That was actually one of the most challenging ones yet. So I think fair play to Jack. Yeah, for I think he was just lying the whole time, like Mallory.
Hustles, isn't he?
Yeah, just like, oh no, they haven't got anything, making us worry, and then it's
Well, can I just throw into there that to twist another thingy that I am actually the one that's been hired by Scottish Highway to get the A9 on this podcast. The ultimate reveal.
It's not in the film. It's not even in the film. We've made it all.
Yeah, have you checked? The A9's to Surrey.
Jack, where or when can our listeners hear more from you?
All over the shop. The best thing to do is follow me on Instagram at Jack McLean Comedy, and everything that you ever could want from me will be on there. I think
anything that we could ever want from you.
Everything that you could ever want from me.
Yeah.
I can go up to the elbow. Sorry. At Jack McLean Comedy.
Well, it's been a pleasure.
It has been a genuine pleasure. That was a good one, and a great film choice as well.
Great film choice. Great thingy, and a pretty succinct resolution, I would say.
And a very good guest. Thanks for listening, guys, and we will see you again for another episode of the Film Thingy Podcast.